Because really the only thing you can update is how the bullying occurs, like we saw with the 2012 Carrie that ended up being a flop.
Dude,
Where
I don't think I've seen that one actually.
oh, it was my biggest disappointment because Kimberly Pierce, who did Boys Don't Cry with Hilary Swank, it was her second movie, even though
Oh,
Boys Don't Cry was such a huge hit in the indie market and won a few awards, I think. This was
yeah.
her second movie, and her original script was like pretty deep and a deep exploration of womanhood and sexuality, which Carrie is. It's just not that deep because it's written by a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
No offense to
Mhm.
Stevie King.
Yeah, he doesn't understand because he just never will because he's just a man.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I do wonder, it does make me wonder. It was his first novel, so if he wrote Carrie today,
Yeah.
what would that look like with his many more years of experience?
In many, many more books.
Yeah. But regardless, I mean, he didn't even
Yeah.
want to publish Carrie because he didn't know anything about teenage girls. It was his wife who was like, "No, this is good. You should go for it."
Yeah, yeah. I know about that very, very lucky break for her taking it out of the trash can or whatever,
Yeah,
however the story goes.
but the 2012 Carrie remake, I was very hopeful of because it was Kimberly Pierce doing the script and directing. But then, as always, the studio gets involved, and fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Anyway, welcome back to Real Horror Show. I'm your host Samantha, joined as always by the Stormy Skies.
Hello, listeners.
I'm very tired. I took a 2-hour nap before recording because I didn't sleep well last night. So
Yeah, no problem. And also, it's warm and not very cold. Daylight savings time changes tomorrow. It
Mhm.
gets dark at 4 o'clock. So everyone is just all fucked up on top
It'll be
of
our
that.
last
Sam
one
didn't
though.
sleep well. Yeah, yeah. Our last what?
Our last daylight savings.
Oh,
Once we
really?
spring forward in the spring, it's done. We're never doing it again.
Oh, did they officially like eliminate it?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have to send me that article.
Oh yeah, it is warm. It's 68 today.
Dude, it's 70 like two here.
We're in the
It's like
mountains.
absurd.
Uh, I thought it was warm when I stepped outside today. I haven't gone outside today.
You're not crazy. It's just warm. It's warm, and tomorrow's gonna be warm. So just, I mean, it's nice if you like. I mean, it's nice, but it's unseasonably warm. But that's all right. It's whatever. It's
It's
whatever.
fine. It's just global warming. Nothing to worry
It's
about.
it's just our lives.
It's just
But anyway,
speaking of
speaking of global
lives.
warming and speaking of just our lives and having to live them.
Um, Today we're finally talking about Prey, the latest
Yes.
installment of the Predator franchise. Prey is a 2022 American science fiction action film based on the Predator franchise. It is the fifth installment and is a prequel to the first four films, being set in the northern Great Plains in North America in 1719. The film is directed by Dan Trachtenberg, written by Patrick Azen, and it stars Amber Midthunder, Dakota Beavers, Dane DeLigro, Michelle Thrush, Stormy Kipp, Julian Black Antelope, and Benton Taylor. The story revolves around Nairu, a skilled Comanche warrior who is striving to prove herself as a hunter. She finds herself having to protect her people from a vicious humanoid alien that hunts humans for sport, as well as from French fur traders who are destroying the buffalo and they rely on for survival.
Yes.
All right. Based on pre-episode discussion, we're going to have some disagreeing opinions.
Well, yeah, probably mostly agreeing, but I didn't like think most of it was, we'll have to get into it, but it was very cool. It was a nice movie, but there's some like I think like roadblocks that came up for me that didn't cause me to like love it extremely like as much as I love other Predator stuff. So I thought it was just okay. We'll get into all of that and why I think that.
Okay. So I guess we can start breaking it down into acting. This is the first movie to have a full Comanche dub. I didn't watch the dub, but it does exist for those who are interested. And the film itself is shot with both the use of English and Comanche in certain portions of the movie. Like it's sprinkled in throughout. And then plus the French, when the French fur traders are talking, which I thought it was great that they never spoke the same language.
Right.
Because the implication, if the French started speaking English, the implication would be they were speaking Comanche, which was just not.
That's that's a little, one of those little things. And I was like, hey. But yeah, definitely.
Excuse me, I'm drinking tea to wake up.
Yeah. Yes,
so our main character is Naru, who is an older teen, young adult, possibly, who wants to become a hunter in her tribe, but due to the Comanche gender roles, she's kind of pushed off where the rest of the women are pushed off to, which is more caregiving roles, like preparing the food, healing,
like going out and finding food in like the morning and stuff.
Hunting and not hunting, gathering more than the hunting, which is more dangerous. So it's up to the men. And so naturally she wants to rebel against her gender roles, which is fine. That's typical. And she's played by Amber Midthunder. I keep seeing that and wanting to say Mind Hunter. So if I slip up, I'm sorry. Okay. Midthunder. And I thought she was pretty good. This is more so how the dialogue is written rather than her acting. I felt like language-wise, it did sound a little modern when she spoke.
Oh, I thought that too so much.
And it could be that she just doesn't have the accent a lot of Native Americans have.
I noticed
which
couple
I don't,
of them didn't have that. Yeah, that's okay though.
Which I don't know what that accent is called, but if you know Native Americans, if you're friends with them, a lot of them have a very distinct way of a speech pattern.
Maybe like
like John Redcorn in King of the Hill. That kind of accent.
Definitely.
So she just kind of sounded a little not Valley Girl, but modern
just
girl.
Very American.
But that was fine. I thought other than that, she was really good. I don't know what she could have done differently, but maybe had the dialogue been written a little different.
A little bit more traditional, maybe, because it was the 1700s. So a lot of the terms they were using probably weren't like there, or being said. Or like even phrases or stuff like that. But that's okay, because that's not her fault. I did think she was really excellent. She was such a badass. Watching her was fabulous. She was just fantastic.
And then the other super prominent character is her brother, her older brother, who, they poke fun at each other. But I think if it weren't for him, she wouldn't have the passion to become a hunter. So I really liked him. I thought he was very good.
Me too.
Naturally, he had to die, but it's fine because her dog lived.
Oh my God. I was really worried about that the whole time. Thank goodness that the dog did live. I was like, yes.
I was like, you can't kill the dog and her brother. That would just be cruel.
Would be a lot.
That would be a lot for her.
A lot for her, a lot for the audience too.
And then some comments on the decisions they made with casting the person who was Predator. For this, the director wanted someone. So in the original Predator, and I think this is a good choice, because in the original Predator, he was going up against military men, Arnold Schwarzenegger, very bulking men. So you want your alien to also be super bulky and intimidating like that. But for this, they cast, I think he's a former basketball player. They wanted someone who was taller with more direct quote feline like movement.
Ooh, cool. Which he looked good.
Which I totally get and I totally respect, because in this, Predator is going up against more stealthy warriors rather than American soldiers.
Yes, definitely huge difference there.
I think you want your alien monster to kind of parallel the movements and behaviors of the human characters you want to root for in a way.
Yes,
to
definitely,
kind of
because
complement each other.
Right, because if they had an enormous predator, then like nobody would stand a chance. So they had a predator that was like almost like they're kind of equal in like, you know, their physicality.
Yeah.
In a way.
Which, yeah. This is definitely more of a production note, but we definitely need to talk about how, based on this prequel, the predator technology hasn't advanced in 200 years.
There's one advancement that I will discuss with you. Okay. Just one.
Because I was thinking that the whole time, like, well, the mask he wears in this one is bone.
Oh yeah, two.
But I was like, oh, so yeah, let's see, lasers. He's still using that 200 years later. The heat seeking, he's still using that 200 years later.
The same arm button thing to do like a little bomb.
So it would have been like, he's supposed to be in an advanced alien race regardless, but it would have been nice if they kind of dumbed down the technology he's using a bit.
Yeah, or maybe like taken one away. Yeah, he didn't make it yet or something.
Yeah, like the heat seeking, maybe do something different with that. I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought the heat seeking was from his newer helmet, but this helmet was just like, it looked like like a skull head or something.
Yeah,
so more primal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense if the heat seeking wasn't there yet, and he just saw like what in black and white, like an animal or something. I don't know.
Ooh, that would have been neat.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever see Daredevil with Ben Affleck?
Yeah,
or even I guess the Charlie Cox one.
The Ben Affleck one.
Yeah, maybe like how Ben Affleck sees in that movie.
Yes,
similar to that.
Right. Yeah.
Something to show, you know,
it's different from how we're seeing him and how he's seeing, you know,
a more still more advanced than the Native Americans he's going up against, but also less advanced than what we saw in the first movie.
Yes, and also like very more like less human and maybe more animalistic too. So we don't know. We still don't know what he is. Just call him the predator. We're not sure. He's an alien. Yeah, and I was thinking about that too. I've really only seen the first Predator. I actually forgot that there was another Predator that came out in 2018. What was that? Like Predator?
It was called The Predator. The last one I remembered was Predators in 2010.
Oh yeah. I've seen only AVP, Alien versus Predator, but it goes into a lot of Predators, like just like background and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, so I would like to see what the culture on the Predator planet is like, because that could also draw a lot of parallels to the tribal culture, to the Comanches. Based on my Wikipedia research, the director is interested in doing a prequel to this, Prey 1718, but I don't really know how you can make that super different from this one.
Right, yeah, prequel to this prequel. But yeah, what the hey?
I think that would be a really interesting angle, is to kind of compare the two. Yeah. Because the big plot with getting into plot, the big storyline with Naru is hunting what hunts you and bringing back what you killed to get this high honor.
Yes.
And the Predator always takes the head of the thing it's hunting. Yes. To like prove it killed it. So I feel like maybe on their planet they have a similar rite of passage. And if we do a prequel, I would like to see the culture of the Predator planet explored. Like maybe we did that in The Predator. I know, not The Predator, in Predators, Predator 3. I think it takes place on that planet, but I still don't think we delve too deep into that lore.
Yeah, exactly. And it would be really cool to delve into that, because all the Predator monsters allegedly look the same, give or take like their physicality, but in AVP it showcases like how early the predator did arrive on Earth. And it's like, of course it's a movie, but it's like ancient Mesopotamia times when they were like present and UFOs were there and there were predator monsters everywhere and stuff like that. So it would make sense that they were there even before this.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It goes wait, because and that's also like a thing about like alien like lore almost, is that like we see these, you know, ancient paintings and depictions of UFOs, like unidentified flying objects. We don't know if it's aliens, but we don't know what it is. So we like to apply that to it's an alien. So it makes sense for Predator because he's an alien.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
All right, what else?
Yeah. So getting into story, it starts with Naru hunting and she sees the Predator spacecraft. She sees this particular Predator landing on Earth and she thinks it's a thunderbird and it's her sign that she is now being called upon to prove herself. So their hunters, when she gets back to the village, they find out one of the village hunters was taken by a mountain lion. She joins them because she's good at tracking and she's actually a healer as well, because being a woman, she's been trained in the way of healing. So her brother tells them she's coming with him in case he's still alive when they find him.
Right.
And when they find him, he's still alive for some reason. And she's very suspicious of that because why would the mountain lion not kill him? What scared it off?
Right.
And at some point, they all get separated. And this is kind of her first encounter with the predator. She sees it in the distance. And something falls and strikes her head. And she wakes up in the village because she got carried back. Her brother returns to the village carrying the head of the mountain lion, proving, hey, it was just a mountain lion. Haha, you thought it was something else. But she's still not convinced. Let's see. So the next day she goes out trying to find what it could have been. And she finds a grizzly bear which attacks her. They try to flee and she's hiding from it. And that's when she sees the predator in his full glory for the first time. We as the audience kind of saw him, but not fully. Just like in any traditional predator movie, we don't really see him until midway through.
Yeah, I also want to talk about how often Predator's invisible in like the first half of this movie. And she only sees him because he's holding up the bear and the blood like falls down on his outline of his body. And so then she kind of sees him better. But yeah, that's a really cool moment because every time I feel like I watch a Predator movie, I feel like most of the time until like the end, he's kind of like saving you a little bit from other things. So it's cool.
And then she's found by the half of the warrior clan. Her brother is looking for her elsewhere. So the warriors kind of drag her back, kicking and screaming.
Dude, they fight. They beat her up and she like beats on that guy.
Oh yeah, and he sucker punches her. I thought that was low. But you know, hashtag equality, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
One of the hunters stumbles into a trap laid by the predator, and then the predator kills all of the men in combat. But Naru is caught in a foothold trap, which was left by one of the French fur traders. And the predator leaves her alone because he doesn't see her as a threat. Then the French voyagers capture her and her brother. I guess they already know about the predator, so they've set up several traps for him. And naturally, he just kills them all pretty easily. Her brother comes back on a horse with the help of the dog to distract him and gets a good few shots on the predator, and she tries to help, but the gun doesn't go off, probably because she doesn't really know how to use a gun. Since this is 1719 and I don't think they'd started trading firearms with the Native Americans yet.
Right.
After the last of the fur traders is killed, and her brother is killed, she decides to prove to the predator that she is a threat and they have their fight. She kills him and she brings his head back to the tribe, and she is honored with their victory call, and she's declared their new war chief. And
Dang. Cool.
so that's about it. That's about the plot.
It is, yeah. And well, here's my question. Is it like, so if someone brings the head of something, if you want to be the new war chief, do you have to go out and like find like an even worse predator and get their head and bring it back? Is it kind of like that, do you think? Like a hierarchy?
I think so. I think what her brother said is you hunt what is hunting you. So
Okay. So if
like
they're,
don't
yeah.
like, it wouldn't, if they brought back a deer, that wouldn't really be sufficient. But because he brought back a mountain lion, that
hurt somebody,
yeah.
then yeah, okay. That
And
makes
then
sense.
she brought back the predator's head, and he killed all of the hunters in the tribe. So I think that's why she was declared the new war chief. So I think it's something like that in terms of hierarchy and how it works.
That makes sense. I also love the fact that she brought the alien head and like no one was like, what the hell is that?
I mean, it's bleeding,
They're
which
just like, oh well, thank you.
again, this is another production note, but I just have to say how much I loved the predator's blood.
Glowy blood, yep.
Yeah, as a contrast to all the traditional native garb, I just thought it was very beautiful.
So cool with it on her face.
Yeah, it was very beautiful.
So cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I liked the story. It was very simple. I know reading the Wikipedia page, the director wanted to bring the franchise back to what the first movie was, which was just a fairly simple cat and mouse game.
Yeah.
Hunting and being hunted in the woods.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess this kind of worked out that way. And it was a cat and mouse game, but I think that they added extra stuff and like squeezed some stuff in there. So therefore I feel like honestly the movie could have been a bit longer, or it could have been shorter, and just the main focus could have been not on the colonizers, but just on Predator.
Yeah, I do agree. So the movie kind of loses its pacing a bit when Nairu and her brother are captured by the fur traders. And I like that they included that historical bit, because that adds like some real world historical terror to the plot.
Yes, definitely.
But I don't know. I guess it was hinted at that the fur traders were there in the beginning when the dog's tail got caught in one of their traps.
And she found that like cigar next to like the completely like desiccated like bison or buffalo.
Yeah.
Whichever one it was.
So that angle could have been fleshed out a little more, maybe even focus more on the threat of the fur traders before realizing there's something worse out there. So maybe structuring it a bit differently.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with that. And honestly, yeah, you're right in the beginning. If they had mentioned like the hunting parties are going out to like scout out where the colonizers are right now, instead of talking about the mountain lion, which also is a threat, but maybe both or something else. So yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Like maybe they thought their fallen comrade was killed by the fur traders, which wouldn't be out of character for colonizers at that time. Like right. I don't know too much about Plains Indians, but I do know a little bit, not as much as we should. I tend to brag on my elementary school because I think we got a more robust education about Native Americans than the rest of America.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the reservation was like 3 miles from us.
Oh, cool.
But French fur traders are kind of shitty. Like they started out fine when they first came, like working with the Native Americans, but then you have these assholes who just disrespect the bison, and that's very,
that was really shocking.
Native Americans use every part of the animal and just to take the fur and leave the rest of it to rot. That's very disrespectful to the animal.
I know. Yeah. And so she said a little prayer or something on the animal. But yeah, this movie did have a lot of like animal death. And like I know they're supposed to like kill the animal and stuff, but like I was like, oh my gosh, I can't keep watching another animal die.
I know. I was thinking about you and your little vegetarianism watching this.
Yeah. Well, I'm not vegetarian because of animals, but I do care about animals. And then just and especially the part when like Predator killed the wolf. Oh my God, that was my least favorite part.
Oh yeah, that was gruesome.
I know. I was like, wow, does anyone else like feel bad or is it just me?
Like there were a lot of gruesome deaths, but I feel like he just ripped off the wolf's head.
I know. He ripped his head and spine out of his body. I was like, Jesus.
Like everyone else got their heads nicely chopped off, but that poor wolf, he did something to the Predator. I don't know what, but
I feel bad. I know. I just feel bad. So that's why I'm really, really glad that the dog didn't die.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, it's coming. The Predator is literally killing every animal in sight.
But and I don't know if they've brought this up in previous movies because I've really only watched the first one. It feels like they're establishing that the Predator will only hunt you if he views you as a threat, as a challenge, which is why I feel like in the Predator culture, even though we've never had a movie that explores that, maybe they have a tradition similar to the one presented with the Comanche tribe, that you get high honors if you bring back something that's hunting you.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that would have been an interesting angle to explore as well. And I will keep repeating that probably throughout the episode because I'm tired and don't remember what I'm saying.
That's okay. That's okay. But no, I totally agree. That would make a really excellent parallel for like, you know, just how like the traditional you know, like those traditional roles of, you know, bringing back what's hunting you. So that's excellent. And making everybody safe, making your community safe.
Are there like female predators?
I think allegedly there is a female predator.
Like, was that a twist in one of the movies?
I heard that somewhere. Yeah.
Let me Google this shit.
Female predator movie. Yeah. New Predator movie will be called Skull. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, Skull was the fake title they were using for this movie while it was in development.
Oh, well, it says it will feature a female hero is not a female predator. It's the protagonist. So.
Oh.
Well, this just tricked me.
Ooh, what if, okay, so they talked about wanting to do like a prequel to this one. What if the prequel involves like this predator, but it came to Earth originally with its like partner, its mate, and its mate got killed by the fur traders? Tying it all together. But no, I like the inclusion of the fur traders because that's a nice historical element to include.
Definitely.
But I think story-wise, they could have been used a bit better because that little lull
right in the middle
slow down the pace of the movie.
It did a little bit. And that's and also I watched it late and last night, so that's why I was like, oh, like what's happening?
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad we got that lull because we did get a nice moment with Naru and her brother Sari before he died.
Yes.
In the very cool moment of him riding the horse, distracting the predator, and them trying to take him down together. And then that nice moment of it ends here for me before he died.
Yes. And what they kept saying whenever it was time for like something to die, like it ends here, it ends now or something, which I thought that was actually kind of cool.
A very nice acceptance of death.
That's such a badass warrior thing to say though, right? Yeah.
So yeah, the story is very simple. It's going back to the roots of the Predator franchise because I don't know, with science fiction, it's very easy for things to get very convoluted.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But yeah, overall, it was an okay movie. The lull really kind of killed it for me, but also I was like really focused on like the timing and also how the script was written, how everybody was speaking. I think that could have been adjusted a little bit to bring us more to allow it to be more immersive with the time. Even if it was English, maybe, yeah, you're right. They were speaking in a really modern way.
Yeah.
And it just had me questioning stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it looked good to me. It looked really good, and the Predator was really cool.
So I guess let's go ahead and get into production, because this movie does have a lot of great production notes. It's being praised highly for its historical accuracy and portrayal of the Comanche tribe.
Awesome.
Yeah, basically the people behind the scenes had giant binders of history pertaining to the tribe to help with costuming and all of that. And the costumes have been declared as very accurate. I guess an original script for this didn't include the scene where Sari's riding the horse to fight the predator, and someone read it. I can't remember who. It might have been one of the actors, said you can't have the Comanche and not have the horses, because horses were a huge part of their culture. And I can see why, a white person writing the movie might not initially want to include horses. Is that, whitewashing the Native Americans, or
right?
Since
we're just assuming there should be horses.
Yeah.
Because there's Native Americans involved.
Yeah, because the Native Americans are not a monolith. All the tribes were different. Yeah. If colonization never happened, America wouldn't be, the United States wouldn't be one country. It would probably be multiple countries split up by tribes.
Right.
So the Cherokee very most likely did not have horses, but in the plains where horses are native, I think Mustangs are native to the Great Plains area. Right. They would have tamed horses, which we all saw in Spirit, the animated movie.
Stallion of the Cimarron.
Yeah. Thank you. I can never remember the
I wasn't
I wasn't a horse girl, so that movie had no appeal to me.
Yeah, me neither. I saw it like once or twice. I owned it, but I wasn't like, I love horses, I want to put. So I'm right there with you.
my friend was a horse girl, and that was like her favorite movie, so we had to watch it.
Of course it was. Did you ever have like a mermaid person in your life?
I was probably the mermaid person, because I did love The Little Mermaid. But I wasn't
all mermaids.
Yeah, no, I was never all mermaids.
All mermaids all the time.
At my very young age, I did have a very diverse film palette.
So. That's good. That's always very good.
I was the one introducing my friends to horror movies when I was 10 years old, and I probably shouldn't have been watching them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And now they all are probably slightly traumatized.
Probably.
They're probably still mermaid and horse girls.
God damn, it took me a really long time to no longer be traumatized by Texas Chainsaw 2003.
Oh God, I think I'm still traumatized by Poltergeist. That was my first one. That movie's fucked up anyway. I feel like if I watch it again, I'll be like, Jesus, this is disturbing. What the hell were they thinking? But anyway, yeah, Texas Chainsaw, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking adult content. Because you don't understand why it's happening yet, Sam. You're too young. Right, anyway.
But yeah, the movie was filmed in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I thought it was beautiful.
Oh, me too. I was like, wow, I was trying to figure out where they were in the United States, Utah or something.
Yeah, this movie was absolutely beautiful. Just reading some more on the filming aspect. The cast proceeded filming with 4 weeks of training camp, working with weapons and personal trainers. While team building, they conceived a sign language for the characters to communicate non-verbally. Midthunder had a particular focus on axe throwing, which is her weapon of choice in the movie. And that was really cool.
So cool. She was really, really good at axe throwing, man. So
which led her. So because she had a focus on that, they added the rope for quick recovery. So that's another cool thing, is that she had the rope and she could pull it back to her.
Yeah, that was really badass.
Let's see, Jane Myers, a member of both the Comanche and Blackfeet Nation, served as a producer on the film. So that's probably what helped have it be so historically accurate. And of course, the tribe is played by all Native American actors, which
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's taken too long, but I am glad we have finally reached a point where we are getting true Native American representation in film and television. Before this, Reservation Dogs came out, which I haven't watched yet, but that's a
The
show that,
series?
yeah, that's a show that focuses on um, Native American reservations and growing up in
Growing
that
up on the
world.
yeah.
Which I believe Mid Thunder is a recurring character on that show. I don't know her role, but when I Googled her,
cool.
that came up.
Huh.
Just compared to Twilight, which I would say
I was about to say compared
I
to Twilight.
compared to Twilight, like Twilight, just from being a white person
Yeah.
with limited experience with Native American pulp culture, that is a huge representation of Native American in mainstream culture. However, it's shitty representation, and the
So
tribe
shitty.
hates Stephanie Myers, and because like they haven't reaped the benefits of the series yet. If you look in the description of every episode, we do have a link to their fundraiser, Move to Higher Ground, because where their tribe is located, they are at risk of flooding and natural disasters, so they're trying to move to higher ground to preserve their culture and artifacts. So
Right.
please donate to that, because that's a really important thing to donate to. But like, you have this huge like piece of media that is Twilight, and your
Yes.
main Native American character, who is huge to the series,
Yes.
is played by Taylor Lautner, who somehow isn't Native American.
He's not?
No, I think he might have a very small amount, like Johnny Depp claiming to be Cherokee amount.
Oh my God. I have to looking at this right now because he
pretty,
has such
he does have a very tan complexion, and that's why I've seen Native Americans who are on the paler side talk about Taylor Lautner, like, how does this fucking Welsh heritage boy look darker than me?
practically white with tan, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh yeah, I'm gonna look into his
Yeah.
What his heritage may be, but yeah.
And then a complete misrepresentation of the tribe's beliefs when it comes to, like, I know they are connected to wolves in some way, but not in the we're werewolves sense.
Right. All of them only just because.
And then
that,
of course, we also had Johnny Depp playing the character in The Lone Ranger, which was super controversial. And Johnny was like, well, I got approval from the tribes, and I am like 1/28th Cherokee.
I don't know how people come up with these like fractions. Yeah, just no. Just get somebody else who's not a white man. Johnny Depp is a white man. He's a Caucasian man. Anyway, I have Taylor Lautner's ancestry. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Sorry, I thought you didn't say anything, and I was like,
no, sorry, I was responding to some people. Go ahead.
Oh. Lautner has Dutch, French, and German ancestry, and has stated that he has, quote, distant Native American ancestry, specifically Ottawa and Potawatomi. I'm sorry if I mispronounced Potawatomi. Thank you. Both. Ash. I'm not even gonna attempt that because I'll butcher it. But yeah, through his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Roman Catholic and grew up in Michigan. Woohoo!
Oh yeah, definitely Potawatomi and Ottawan then. That's how I know so much, is because Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Ottawa were the three fires, the three main tribes that made up Michigan before it was Michigan.
Yes, it says it's the Anishinaabe. If you know that word,
I don't remember.
It's a group of the indigenous peoples that represented the Great Lakes.
Yeah, but
yeah, but anyway, distant. Dutch, French, and German.
Yeah.
The fuck.
So
whatever.
Like he's if he's telling the truth.
That's from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So like take it with a grain of salt, but like I don't see why Wikipedia would want to lie.
Mm-hmm. And then having a full dub in the native language, I think is so huge for Native American
awesome.
representation in film, and I'm just happy this movie exists for
Yes.
that reason.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, quick little fact. I was looking up Amber Midthunder,
Mm-hmm.
and she's in 14 cameras. Not the first one, but the second one.
Oh,
Isn't
is
that
she?
funny? Yeah, her
We
name is
reviewed that.
Danielle. We reviewed 13 and 14. So she's a girl named Danielle.
Oh my God, that
And
was so long ago.
it was a long time ago. I have to look and see if there's a picture. She must have been one of the house girls in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yep.
Well, look at her now. Good for her.
Yeah, she really came far, but she loves horror and stuff like that. So she might be a little horror type person, which we need more of those horror girls.
Yeah. And I thought the kills in this movie were very good, very brutal, which is what I expect from Predator.
Yeah, geez. Yeah. I don't mind the kills of like the people, but I still am feeling upset about the animal kills.
You're still perturbed of the wolf having his head ripped off.
Perturbed. Yeah, and also his like Predator had this like device where that he was able to like melt the skin off his skull and just get the skull. I was like, whoa. That was kind of cool though. But other than that, really cool kills. And I can't wait to talk about what you mentioned before, all of the technology and weaponry that Predator
we can talk about that.
Oh my gosh, my favorite part of Predator.
He had drones, he had his heat-seeking eyes.
Yeah.
He had his thing that he's known for, the arm thing.
Yeah, the arm thing with the two claws that kind of comes out of his arm.
So
spear.
Yeah, I guess it was a little disappointing to not see a little more archaic technology on the Predator end.
Yeah.
Since this is set 200 some years before the first movie.
Yeah. Well, listen to this because this is something I noticed, and tell me if I'm wrong, but because I've only ever seen really like AVP, which isn't canon, but it's the same Predator character. His shoulder cannon had like it was like the triangle, and it shot 3 arrows, like metal arrows. But in other movies, it's like a gun or like a explosion gun. But it's not arrows. So I noticed that was something that was different.
I mean, everything else we did see the 3 arrows when the first hunter was killed. He was killed by 3 arrows, but I don't think we saw how those came out.
Right. But what I'm saying is in other movies, it's like the triangle and no arrows come out. It's just like it's just like a target.
Yeah.
With no arrows, it's like a gun or a bomb, or a missile, something big and like a big weapon. So that was the one thing I was like, is that the same? Is that the one thing that's different?
Yeah.
But everything else I think was the same. I mean,
like the mask was different. The mask was a little more archaic. Yes, but I do wish we just saw a little more change with the weaponry.
Oh yeah, definitely. He even had that one of my favorite things that he has is like that net that he shoots it and then it tightens up until it like goes through your skin, and I think that's like a really interesting thing that he has. What about his shield? Because it looked like it was metal, but it looked like almost it was made of wood.
That might have been different. I can't remember a shield.
Yeah, because I can't remember a shield, but I'm looking at Predator with a shield, and I guess it's the same. I don't know. I'd have to like rewatch a movie, but it opened and closed. It was cool, but it was a bit small, so maybe that was like a prototype. I'm not sure. So I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here a little bit with like a couple of things he had. But like I don't remember like a shield in the newer ones though. Does the Predator have a shield? It's attached to his wrist. Okay. Yeah, and what
You
else? Like he
mentioned
had a
that the shield
spear.
looked older. Uh, he had a
Yeah.
spear. He had drones. I thought the drones were
Yeah, drones, definitely.
maybe it's all going back to the drones. The drones felt very modern, like
Yes,
too modern.
yeah, I was surprised that he did have the drones that were like the bombs, but I was surprised that they were so weak. Like they should have
Mhm.
taken out, usually from what I remember, his drones or like maybe one drone or bomb, it's like a nuclear bomb.
Mhm.
It's something. But maybe it wasn't, they didn't make it like that yet. So we had the little ones. He was trying to test everything out. So yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I think that's all he really had going for him, you know, all those little weapons there. But
Yeah.
very cool stuff though. I always like seeing all his cool gadgets.
Mhm. He's definitely one of the more fun characters. And
Yeah.
fuck me if I'm wrong. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is the first Predator movie where we have a final girl.
I
Very
thought about
likely.
that the whole time. I thought about that the whole time, and I was like, "Oh, there's a final girl." An AVP Predator essentially saves the female protagonist, and she survives. But I wouldn't call her a final girl because
Mhm.
Predator is working with her, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I mean? It's not her
consider
enemy.
I don't have an official definition in front of me, but I personally consider final girls to be, the main girl that kind of fights back and saves herself.
Yes, definitely. So she is the final girl.
Yeah, so she might be the first final girl in the Predator franchise. Good for her.
I know. I can't believe she killed Predator. Like some of the time, like during the movie, I was like, if she kills Predator, like he's not the only Predator, right? So every Predator
Hmm.
is actually a different Predator.
Yeah.
So that's
So maybe that's
interesting.
another reason I wish the technology was a little more archaic to put them more so on the same playing field.
Yeah,
Keep him still advanced,
right.
but not so advanced that it's indistinguishable from the Predator we meet 200 years from now.
Yes, exactly. They basically look pretty much the same, like with like what we stated to the two differences that we kind of like talked about, or three differences, very small. The only big one was like the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. What else? Anything else? I don't.
I think that's all I have if we want to break down the realistic aspects.
The
Um,
realistic aspects. White colonialism,
colonization.
colonization, colonialism.
And can I just say, thank goodness we were not colonized by the French because those guys were assholes.
Yeah, and they're like bumbling idiots too,
Yeah.
apparently.
Maybe if they want to do another one set in this like general time period, maybe the next Predator could be like Predator 1776, where we could get like
Yeah.
that could be an interesting take because I don't know how if they said it only 1 year before this one, I don't know how you could really distinguish the two.
There would be no real difference, really.
Yeah. So like if they
Um,
wanted to do a sequel to this one where it's like 60 years in the future and we're in the American Revolution time period
yeah.
or Civil War time period, because
Oh,
I'm very
wow.
pro like horror not taking place in the modern day.
Yeah, me
it,
too.
it helps take away the her just use your cell phones critique.
Right, definitely. And it's kind of a breath of fresh air because everything is set in present time, for the most part.
Oh, quickly back to production. I am
Yeah.
disappointed this did not get a full theatrical release or a hybrid release because I would have liked seeing
Yeah.
it on the big screen.
Yeah, actually that's an interesting point because I do recall that it really just came out on Hulu.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyway, let's see.
Yeah.
Colonization's a real horror show.
Oh God,
Not being
like
able
skinning bison. Yeah.
not being able to do what you want with your life is a real horror show.
Yeah, having to wake up every morning and like go find like food and flowers and stuff. Like, oh gosh, she
Mm-hmm.
was really annoyed with that. Getting
Getting
woken up.
getting stuck in a mud pit.
Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. That was terrifying. I was like, oh my God.
And I like how it came back when she killed the predator, getting him stuck in a mud pit.
Everything that she did, I can't even I can't even harp on it because it was all very clever how she
Mm-hmm.
got him. So yeah, I can't
Yeah.
even say shit because she did well. I can't say, well, she, this shouldn't have happened. No, she really got him good. So now they're gonna send another predator that's better than that one.
Oh yeah, that would be
Keep
fun.
leveling up the predator. But yeah, so have coming upon like an entire herd of skinned buffaloes that are like dead in the field. Like that's pretty terrifying, but also awful because that really happened. That's so
it really happened. Like bison are pretty much like extinct. I mean,
they're like they're endangered. They're still bison,
and they're still endangered because of like this whole period of time.
I know. They're like such a sweet. I mean, they're not sweet and gentle, but they're very sweet and they're important.
Yeah.
You know, so like, geez, yeah, buffalo, bison, it kind of depending on the region, but like almost the same animal.
We killed all of them except for like 3, and they're struggling.
What a waste. I know when I went on my honeymoon, I stayed on like a preservation, like it was a bison preserve. And they just like roamed freely there, and it was really, really cool. But you know, like that's where we're at. We have to like preserve them. They can't roam freely by themselves. They need to be looked after. So that's where we're at with that. So that's the real horror show. Let's see. No one believing you when you say that you saw something else out there. And I got just like, oh well, I have to check on that. Like,
yeah, I got frustrated for her because you know this isn't a modern horror movie, so you can't just take a picture of the thing you see and be like, see.
Right. And they're like, well, the footprint was really big. They're like, oh, it was a bear. And it's like, shit, how can you know?
Bears don't have glowing green blood, last I checked.
I know. Yeah. So it's this whole thing where it's like, God, they just don't believe you because you're a woman. So what you say really doesn't have any clout. What else? Well, I guess like aliens, like possibly existing. Do aliens exist? Sam, do you believe in the existence of aliens?
The universe is too big for there not to be aliens.
I agree with that as well. So that aliens and like seeing what, and you don't know what it is, and it's an alien, like holy shit. I'm not even the predator. I mean like a spaceship, you know what I mean? That would have been like definitely something. Especially in that area too, man. Like the plains of like the Midwest America, I feel like that's where it's so flat that you can just see the sky for miles, right? So even in the day or the night, whatever. So that's something that could be terrifying to some people. And then the predator itself is very scary. So
yeah,
I think that's everything.
I think that's all I have for realistic.
Your brother dying. Okay, that's upsetting, but I know. But your dog does not die. He's a very good dog.
Good dog.
Very good dog. And that is the real horror show of Prey. I give it a meh. But that doesn't mean that it was a bad movie. That just it was really a good movie. I'm just such a hater. But
I give it a fuck me up. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll go see it. It's on Hulu. I can't believe it actually came out this year. I was like thinking it was like last year, but like this year it's been so fast, but also like very long.
I know. We're gonna have to assuming you have Amazon Prime, we need to watch the US remake of Goodnight Mommy.
Yeah, and maybe we can talk about something else off mic, like a suggestion regarding movies that are on like Amazon Prime. But I basically got it all now somehow. Excellent. So let's do that because that would be perfect follow-up for our original review of Goodnight Mommy. So if you guys haven't listened to that, it's a doozy. It's there. So check it out. They're all doozies.
You want to wrap this bitch up?
Yeah, if that's what you would like, you are my boss. You were the director, so you just tell me what you want. Okay, so I've got the outro right here.
No, I'm not your boss. I'm nobody's boss. I say with a pipe in my mouth. We were Professor Plum and Miss Scarlet for Halloween, so we ordered some fake pipes off of Amazon and got 2. So one's at my desk now to make me super important.
Yes, definitely. And then as you sit there with the pipe and you're just like messaging me like, can you please get me pictures of Spider-Man? That's like all I can think of whenever like someone has a pipe or like a cigar. It's like, get me pictures of Spider-Man. So that's the real horror show. Trying to get pictures of Spider-Man when you are Spider-Man. Is that a horror movie?
No, it's a superhero movie. You don't even like those.
Scary? What? Wait, would you say you don't like those movies?
No, I said you don't like superhero movies.
I don't like superhero movies. I don't like the idea of superhero movies, but I like those Spider-Man movies because they're so because Willem Dafoe's in it. That's why I like it.
I mean, we could make the argument they're directed by Sam Raimi, so they're horror adjacent.
That's what I was saying. It's horror adjacent. The Green Goblin's scary.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's in a bunch of horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Campbell's in it.
Like
one of the movies. So anyway, and Tobey Maguire's a fucking lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see how it can't be a horror movie, honestly. All right, so anyway. Okay, here's the outro. Let me wrap up. Let me clear my throat first and get ready. Okay, I left my water in the other room. So, Real Horror Show was created by Sam Odie and Stormy Skies and is directed by Sam Odie. Today, we learned that you should always believe a woman if she says she sees something out there other than the bear and the mountain lion, for sure. Because it might be, a really dangerous predator. All right. Did we learn anything else that we can take with us?
Stop killing dogs.
Yeah. When you're gonna kill any animal, make it quick and painless, please, and don't rip their head and spine out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. Okay, but anyway, like what you hear, you can find Real Horror Show on Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play Store, Stitcher, iTunes, and Pandora. Really, really like what you hear? Follow us on Twitter @HorrorShowPod or search for Real Horror Show on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook @Real Horror Show. Like our page and share our stuff. We also have a website that all of our written reviews and podcasts can be found, realhorrorshow.com. Want to interact with us? Want to make sure we're real humans, not space vampires? Comment on our website or email us at realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Sorry. Want to argue with us about something? Or think you have a really great horror movie review that you're dying to share with two random strangers from the internet? Submissions are open for movie reviews. Check out the submit page on our website and follow the rubric before sending us anything. If it's not done according to the rubric, it will be disregarded. Sorry, not sorry. We love horror, and if you're listening, you do too. Please help us keep our project going by visiting our support page on our website, where you can make a one-time donation via PayPal. We also have an Amazon wish list if you feel like buying something tangible will help convey your love more than a monetary donation would. Also, you can find the Buy Us a Coffee button on our website. It's a button you can click that will pay us the amount you would need to buy a coffee. A little bit goes a long way. Sometimes we can't help out artists monetarily, and that's okay. By simply liking, sharing, retweeting, and even giving us an awesome review will help us out tremendously. Any other pertinent news? I don't have any other pertinent news. I'm guessing you don't either. Okay, I'll keep going. Our outro song is called Creepy Doll by Jonathan Colton. Thank you, fuck off, and have a swell evening. And this is Real Horror Show signing off.
Forgive me, I was muted because I was typing something. No, I don't have any news. I responded to you and then you acted like I didn't say anything.
You were probably saying something really super important. You're just like, and I'm just like, okay, Sam has nothing to add.
I don't have anything to add. Yeah, fuck off and have this.
Enjoy. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
And there's a creepy doll that always follows